Hello there, and welcome back to the Agostino Zinga Show with your host, Agostino Zinga, and this is episode number 909. That is Nueve, I think, something along those kind of lines. What's going on, people? What's crack-a-lacking? Hope you're well wherever you may be. I hope you're doing swimmingly wherever you may be. How am I? All things, I don't know, not bad, all things considered. Kinda, I'm not gonna lie. Kinda. I've had a bit of a rough past couple of days. I've been suffering from an unspecified illness, mostly due to my fucking respiratory and, allergy season type of thing going on. I do actually have an asthma appointment booked with a GP next week, so I'm really looking forward to that, to getting that issue sorted out, because I was in bed the entire weekend. The entire weekend I was spent in bed, mending myself, trying to get myself into some sort of healthy state. And luckily, I've recovered for the start of the new month, which is Monday, the 2nd of June. If you're listening to this, I'm recording to this on Monday, the 2nd of June, coming into the 3rd. So I am happy about that. But Jesus Christ, man, it's been a tough couple of days for your boy. It's been a tough few days for your boy. Every time the allergy season comes around, it always knocks me off my feet. I'm doing all the right things, I think, so far, but I probably need to improve. I probably need to start doing my ginger green juice shots again, because that sort of stuff sometimes helps me in terms of alleviating some of my flipping, nasal respiratory issues. I probably need to get back onto the running as well. Although my sports related asthma prevents me from running as much as I would love, I still do think pushing myself that level in terms of cardiovascularly on the street and running like 3 miles a day and shit can really help. Because I think back then, when I was running a lot, even though it was causing me a lot of anxiety when I was outside, I was thinking to myself, imagine I was one of those people who end up going out for a run and then I end up collapsing, and having a stroke on the street. I didn't want to be one of those type of people, right? So I was always like a little bit nervous and I'd ever run outside, but I think I need to go back to that as well. But just little things, probably need to cut down on the cereal. I'm sure the milk isn't helping with some of the mucus and nasal issues. And just in general, man, just got to take better care of myself, I guess, because I can sometimes push it a little bit too hard with the work and the content and this and that, to a point where I'm just like just falling apart. So I need to get back to a good level, because I don't want to be spending the majority of my summer cooped up in the home, cooped up under my duvet, blind shut, drinking copious amounts of tea, taking mad amounts of anti-allergy tablets, sucking on my flipping asthma pump, and just watching the world go by via my social media feed. It's fucking horrible, I swear to God. When you're sick and you're on your feed, it's the worst thing. That's why I just avoided my feed. I avoided social, I avoided a lot of things over the last week. But yeah, big up everybody for tuning in still. Just need to give you a heads up in case you were wondering where I was and what's going on. But I'm back and I'm raring to go. Talking about raring to go, let's talk about some stuff I've been watching these last few days, because I think some of you guys will be interested in checking these things out. TV series I've watched. One in particular I want to mention has to be Your Friends and Neighbors, starring John Hamm, legendary actor, legendary actor, right? And obviously I fell in love with John Hamm the same way most of you guys fell in love with John Hamm, through his depiction of that guy he played in fucking Mad Men. Absolutely phenomenal actor in my personal opinion. Has a great fucking range. But I do love him when he plays this type of role. This type of character feels like the modern incarnation of what the character from Mad Men would have been. Wherever the character of Mad Men was, I think the character he plays in Your Friends and Neighbors is a modern interpretation of it. He absolutely kills this role. Apple TV, by the way, are absolutely killing it with the TV series. They've got another one at the moment called Murderbot, which I'm also loving. It's based on a sci-fi novel that a lot of people on sci-fi TikTok and sci-fi YouTube, or just literature YouTube in general, recommended, and they've made a series about it as well called Murderbot. That's crazy good. And then they've also got this Your Friends and Neighbors. Allegedly there's a season 2 already signed off. I'm not the biggest fan of this, giving a show a second season just for the sake of it. Like I heard, for instance, there's a samurai season 3 or 4 happening soon. I think sometimes when the story is done, just leave it done. I don't necessarily think this series needs a second season. I think the story was told perfectly well within the first season. But still, if they're going to do it and they're still going to be the same people acting in it, I'm obviously going to watch it. The series follows John Hamm. Essentially what happens to him is that he loses his job and then after lose, he lives in a very affluent community, with lots of friends and family. I think he's a investment or hedge manager, something along those kind of lines. He loses his job, in a very unfair way. It comes as a shock because he's one of the best performers, highest performers there, but the guy obviously at the company wanted to get him out for ulterior motives. He loses it off the back of a sexual misconduct type of thing, which really wasn't what it was. And then his life kind of spirals as he tries to keep up appearances whilst also not letting people know that he lost his job, which I've never had in my life. Luckily, also I've been unlucky enough to lose my job, right? Obviously I've had enough to lose my job, but I've never been in a position where I've had to hide the fact that I've lost my job. And I'd imagine that's probably quite common. I'd imagine quite a lot of couples, in quite a lot of families, that's quite common, especially for men. Men, myself included, are very prideful. You don't ever want to seem like you're down bad. You don't ever want to seem like you're needy. You don't ever want to seem like you're a loser or a bum. So you're going to keep up appearances, you know what I mean? So I can imagine a lot of men have tried the whole, like, I'm just going to pretend I've still got my job and go to work thing and apply for another job. And then when I get it, I'm going to, you know what I mean? But I don't think that works probably. It's probably better to just admit wagwan with your family, let them know what's happening. So you can all collectively kind of squeeze your belts a little bit and save some money. And then when the next opportunity come. But in this type of society that this character John Hamm is playing, he has to do that. It's part of the appearances. He's part of a local members club. He can't stop paying that. He doesn't get rid of his Maserati. Then ends up having a faulty fucking boot. Loads of really funny things happen. It's quite a really good. It's a really good series. I'm not gonna lie. So many good performances throughout the entire thing. One of the best messages I kind of got away from this was just, and I think we all know this, I think you only kind of see this as soon as you get older. When you're younger, you're a little bit bewildered by people's actions, When you're younger, you're way more bewildered. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe he or she did this and that. I can't believe it. I would never do X, Y, and Z. Da, 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 da. But the older you get, the more you start to realize, oh shit, no, I could actually do that. If push come to shove, if times are really bad, I could see myself doing X, Y, and Z. It's like the idea of me kind of like, empathizing or sympathizing with homeless people. For a long time, especially when I was younger, I had a very toxic, very like, I don't know, a very angry response whenever I saw a homeless person. Just inside, I didn't obviously verbalize or anything, but whenever I saw someone homeless on the street, especially when I was super young, it would always give me a very viscerally angry reaction about it. And I think most of it came because I grew up in a household where, like, especially like we had ups and downs in my family and shit, in terms of everyone's earning potential and making money and shit. But there was a period where, like, for a long time, maybe until in my teen years, going into my early 20s, when my parents really were struggling, were down bad, and we obviously as brothers had to kind of help out and sort of like keep the house kind of running in it, which is okay, no big deal. But I remember at those times thinking to myself, like, fuck man, my parents are good people, you know what I mean? My parents are good people. They ain't really fuck nobody over. They're not scummy people. They don't lie. They don't cheat. They don't steal and shit. So how come they're in a situation where they can't help themselves? They're trying everything. They try to open a business. They try to do this. They try to apply for this job. And nothing seems to be working. And I remember at that time thinking to myself, like, it's fucked up because, like, no one's coming to help us, No one's coming to help you. No one's going to save you. Even though my parents went out their way, especially to the chagrin of me and my brothers, we used to always hate it. The fact that my parents would be like, they would literally give their last £5, their last £20, and they'll send it to a relative in Africa because they were suffering. But then we were suffering at home. You know what I mean? We just about had electricity. We just about had gas. We'd had a fucking empty fridge, and my parents were sending money over to Africa. You're like thinking, fuck man, we need this, isn't it? I need this. But then later on in life, you start to think that's actually still a good way to kind of go about doing life, isn't it? So no problem with that, no biggie. But I remember having a really visceral reaction to, like, people, poor people on the street, and I think it's because of that upbringing, that childhood of, like, having no one come to save us. So I was thinking to myself, why do you get people to try and, like, why do you deserve people to save you? If I was a homeless person, I'd be like, hold on, why are you holding out your hand or holding out your tin cup when we had nobody to help us? What makes you more deserving of help than us, type of thing. But then you mature and you get older, and when I became older and shit, when I got more wise, I started to realize, oh shit, I'm actually a couple of bad decisions, maybe 3 or 5 away from being on that street too. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to be there. I'll try my best to avoid it. But I could see a situation where 3 or 5 bad decisions could easily end up in that situation, especially if you've got no family, because people forget how quickly that happens, especially someone like myself. Like, I don't really have much extended family in this country. Most of them are abroad and shit. So if 3 or 5 bad situations happen and I have nobody around me, touch wood, I'm going to be in that same situation. So I think this show kind of showed you how quickly your life can spiral off of things that happen that aren't necessarily your fault. Like, you know, I'm always a stickler for like everything being your fault. I kind of abide by the Jocko Willink extreme ownership mantra. Like, everything's your fault, everything was in your control. Whatever happens in your life, you can kind of fix. But sometimes there are some situations where it's generally not your fault. You end up in a situation, you're kind of dealt a bad set of cards, and you have to manage it. You have to manage what you're given, and sometimes you're given a shitty hand of cards and you have no other options but to do some fucked up shit, which is what Jon Hamm does in his show. He does some fucked up shit. He fucks over a bunch of people. He breaks a bunch of people's hearts. Like, one of the most heartbreaking scenes in this, actually, when it kind of comes to a head, one of the most heartbreaking scenes is when he's having dinner with his family, and also his agent, financial manager comes out too with their family, and they all have one big family dinner, right? 2 families joining together. They're in business, they're personally friends together, and then he goes to pick up something in his car, and as he goes to pick up something in his car, his business partner joins him too, and then as they're about to get something from their cars, some guy that he fucked over comes out in a car and rushes both of them and beats them both up to the point where they have to go to hospital. So a situation that he thought he had in control, a situation that he thought he was managing, now spilled over to the point where his best friend, his business partner, is now in fucking, you know, intensive care and shit, with a broken arm, swelling, in a coma, all this sort of mad shit. You're like, oh my god, all from just one bad decision. One bad thing happened in his life. He got fired. He tried to keep up appearances, and then suddenly it spirals to the point where his best friend ends up in hospital because it's his fault. You know, he knows it's his fault. That's one of the most heartbreaking scenes. Really, really heartbreaking. But it's really good series. Really recommend you check it out. Such a good cast of people, actors wise. Obviously, Jon Hamm smashes it. You know, I think, what's her name? I forgot. Maybe I'm just, you know, no, I forgot. But I didn't really know, and I got reminded just how much of a dimey fucking Olivia Munn is. I know she might be a bit of a psycho. She's got a bit of psycho girl energy eyes about her, but Olivia Munn is a dime piece. God almighty, dime piece. So definitely check it out for Olivia Munn in general. But my favorite performance of the entire series, my favorite performance has to come from the character that plays Jon Hamm's sister. Her name, right? Lena Hall. This woman kills it. This woman has the best character in the series. Lena Hall, who plays Ali, who plays Jon Hamm's character, Coop's sister. She absolutely kills it. She's like I think she's bipolar or something like that. Struggling artist who kind of Jon Hamm's character has always supported. And she's kind of going through some stuff during the series, and she's trying to do her best to help him because her brother's been there helping her for her entire life. So she feels she's guilty, and she's going through her little relationship thing. Honestly, I recommend you check it out. It's a really good series. Lena Hall kills it. Jon Hamm kills it. Really, really good series. Your Friends and Neighbors, available on, I think, Apple TV. Obviously, you know, man gets it from where I get it, but definitely recommend you check it out. Such a good series. Such a good series. Continuing on, let's quickly talk about Brooklyn Mirage. Bloody hell, the Brooklyn Mirage is going through a bit of a mad thing. I'm sure some of you guys have been paying attention, no wagwan, within the New York scene. This club in New York, which is meant to have this amazing refurbishment done to it. I saw the pictures. I spoke about it before on the pod. I really like the refurbishment ideas. I think a lot of people within that New York scene have basically said the refurbishment wasn't necessary. It was a little bit over the top and unnecessary, and it would just add delays to the reopening of the club. And they've all been basically proved correct. Now I think most shows at the Brooklyn Mirage have been postponed until way later in the year. A bunch of big shows that had, I think they had like Sarah Landry booked, they had Charlotte the Whip booked, they had to kind of relocate them to other places. It's a real shame because the refurbishment, in my personal opinion, makes that club look really special. I've not seen a club look like that. It's like, it reminds me of a club that you'd see maybe in like a cartoon. I don't know, like Teen Titans or something back in like an animation. Like the fucking balconies, the views, the big LED screen at the back. It looks really impressive. But unfortunately, I guess to have such an impressive club, you need a lot more time to get it done. And now the Brooklyn Mirage CEO has been fired. I'm not too sure how fair it is to fire the CEO. Not sure if it's actually his fault that the club isn't reopened yet, but I guess in these situations, someone head has to roll, you know, in these situations. And I guess because he's the main guy up top, his head has to roll. And I guess hopefully if they hire a new CEO, maybe more competent, maybe it will help. But I think this is where I've taken control. You know what I mean? I think this is just like the board, investors, whatever, trying to do something very ambitious, not really realizing how much time there needs to be done to do a job like this. Contractors may be dragging their feet a bit, who knows. I've also heard reports of allegedly these guys not actually working in tow with local contractors and builders and stuff and unions. There's all this other stuff you have to get in line, and maybe pissing off people in the mayor's office that's led to these delays on purpose. So they kind of intentionally kind of putting roadblocks in front of them to teach them a lesson, like, hey, you have to fucking acquiesce to our demands, you have to meet our standards, then your club can reopen. But they try to curtail that, and obviously here they are. So this is courtesy of the BK Mag. Brooklyn Mirage fires CEO Josh Wyatt. Brooklyn Mirage CEO Josh Wyatt, hired in October. That's fucking brutal, by the way. Hired in October and you're already out. Was fired on Thursday after a tumultuous and brief tenure at the company that was plagued by 4 weekends of cancelled shows due to failed safety inspections, unmet construction deadlines, and worsening relationship with fans. Effective immediately, Josh Wyatt is no longer of Avant-Garde, wrote Avant-Garde's director, People of Culture, Geraldine Cluffy, in an email to the company obtained by BK Mag. We appreciate Josh for his contributions. We wish the best in his future endeavors. No, you don't. I hate when people do that, right? Companies, they always say that in lines, in it. We wish him the best in his future endeavors. No, you fucking don't. Why are you lying? You don't wish him the best. You don't care what he does. If anything, you're pissed off that you left him in the job for so long and you got so much free money out of it, and now he's left you with a club that isn't open yet, you know? At least if he got fired with a club that's open, that's one thing. But now you're going to have to rehire somebody, or you're going to have to hire somebody new, pay out for whatever, you know, most likely you're going to have to pay somebody to get them out of their contract, or the person you hire is going to demand a higher wage. That's going to add more time to the fucking date for the fucking club to reopen. And you also run the risk that it's not a guarantee that this new person's actually going to do a better job than what Josh Wyatt did. Maybe Josh Wyatt did the best that he could do within his current situation, given all the extra outside things that kind of, you know, lead to a club opening. Because I'm sure it's just not one CEO that's in charge of, that's got all the authority to make the club reopen. There's loads of other things, I'm assuming, especially in a city like New York, where you kind of have to keep in mind in order for a club to open at the level that they wanted to open it at. It continues. In days leading up to his termination, Wyatt had removed several posts of his Instagram related to the construction updates and articles where he was interviewed. He also changed his Instagram page from public to private. When BK Mag reached out for comment on Friday for a recent article, his team said that he was abroad dealing with a family emergency. God damn it, man. It's fucking crazy, isn't it? Like, I just wish I wonder if we're probably never going to get to that place, but I wish in culture it was accepted to just like go crazy on your former employee, and for it not to be like a bad thing, like professionally. I wish that was allowed. Like, I wish we lived in a culture where you could, like, you know, crash out in public about your fucking former employee and just say, yeah, fuck them, I'm glad I've left, they fired me, whatever, it's an absolute shit show over there, I wish them nothing but the worst. You know what I mean? No one does that. Everyone just kind of cowers away. But I wish that was allowed. As Avant-Garde, an operations team member who has been at the company for 9 months, I asked for them for name not to be used as refurbishment, so for retribution, opened up about why he was fired. We've been told for months that anyone who posts anything about the construction of Mirage or sent pictures of it to anyone would be fired. No questions asked. It's been absolutely miserable financially, at least considering Mirage season, when all of us rely on getting our paychecks. That's when the most shows happen. It's when the most customers come. Oh, can you imagine? I just thought about that. Bar staff, innit? If you work in clubs, you work on a 0-hour contract. The only people that are on salary are probably people that work in the head office, right? But most people that work within clubs are probably on a 0-hour contract. You get paid when you work. So if the club isn't open, you can't work, so you can't get paid. So if they're missing out on dates, if they have to postpone people like Charlotte DeWitt playing, Sarah Landry, all these super big techno DJ people, you're missing out on a lot of earning potential. You're going to be so fucking pissed. The said employees found out that the initial show cancellations at the exact same time as public. Youch. The employee also noted that Wyatt made it seem like he was working with the Department of State and Department of Buildings, despite the venue being nowhere near completed. It just wasn't finished. He wasn't being transparent with the staff regarding what was happening. They couldn't tell us anything. Our team leads weren't getting any transparency either. From the top down, no one knew what the fuck was. Okay, cool. So it seems like, to be fair, I spoke a bit too soon. It seems like Josh Wyatt was a bit of a shit CEO. It seems like even the people that he was, even the leads, people that he was reporting directly to under, you know, his underlings, even they weren't getting the fucking updates. So no one had any clue what was going on. Josh Wyatt was just in it for a good time, not a long time. Fair play. Cluffy in her email to employees said that non-executive chairman of the board, Gary Richards, will be managing day-to-day operations and will be supported by key members of the leadership team. Those members who help Richards include Cluffy, Vice President Financial, Alex Ifshin, General Counsel Faizo Latif, Director of Operations Jermaine Santiago, and Director of Programming and Partnerships Kenny Schatzner, and Chief Technical Officer Stephen Weicker. Jesus, so many people that work within clubs, isn't it? Like, all these, and I wonder how many people actually, what did he actually do? Most people, I wonder. I bet you, right, slyly, within like club management, venue management, festival, whatever, I bet you there's a bunch of people stealing a living in it. I don't know why, I just got a feeling. I bet you there's a bunch of people within that industry who are legit stealing a living, like bloated employees, you know, bloated employee roster. There's no need to have like 17 people working behind the scenes for a club, because only 5 people actually get the job done, you know? The rest of them are just kind of there picking up a paycheck just to hang out, just to tweet, just to send some fucking Instagram posts out. It must be a bit dodgy out there. I swear to God, I got a feeling. Gary brings extensive experience from the music industry, and leadership was instrumental during this transition. Our immediate collective goal is to ensure that the successful opening of the new Brooklyn Mirage, this is critical milestone, and everyone's dedicated teamwork are essential. In a sweeping interview last month, Wyatt told BK Mag the venue would be 100% open on May 1st. That's like Elon Musk level fucking promises, isn't it? 100% open on May 1st for its initial show with the techno DJ Sarah Landry, including spectators. Building inspectors had other plans. Security crews had already arrived for the night's work, and fans were beginning to gather in the area. But after failing the safety inspection, the Mirage was forced to cancel just hours before the doors were open. And I'm pretty sure I checked it out. Let me see if I can find it, but I'm pretty sure on the Aves subreddit, somebody posted a list of all of the fucking shows that were cancelled, and I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of them. So many. Let me see. Yeah. So this is an update from what? This is an update from like the 5th of the 7th that shows what the club was looking like on the inside. So as you can see, that's, I don't know what about you, but I quite like the look of it. Looks super impressive. That massive curved screen, the fucking balcony kind of stair things going on, the huge dance floor, the LEDs everywhere. That it looks so fucking cool. But unfortunately, I guess that sort of like really, you know, out there pushing it of the boundaries design is gonna take some time to get done. But I think I saw something here on the AV subreddit where they spoke about all the delays, and I'm pretty sure the delays were pretty extensive, pretty expensive. Let me just quickly see. Actually, I think I'll get it up on here. Let's just see here. I think it's on there, Mirage. Somebody actually posted a list of all of the fucking dates, and I'm pretty sure there was a bunch of dates that have been postponed. Pretty crazy. Where is it? Brooklyn Mirage, July 15th. Okay, that's ages ago. Let's see here. Bring back the Mirage, F-Tapes, Full Moon. People are now posting old pictures, by the way, and clips of the Brooklyn Mirage, kind of like reminiscing on how good it was back in the day. But I think I saw it somewhere. Where is it? Somebody had a post that showed all of the postponed dates. But where is it? Is it this one? Nope, I don't know which one it is. Maybe I don't have it. Doesn't really matter, does it? Mirage. Where is that? A's. Let's see here. Oh, I don't know where it is. It's somewhere around here. Somebody had an update for it, but I think all the dates have been cancelled essentially. But yeah, big up the Brooklyn Mirage. Unfortunately, it's not going to be open anytime soon. We are waiting for it. There's another show up here that there's a Tape D. What's that? Tape B show that's also been postponed. Tape B statements on rescheduled show. It says I'm extremely sad to announce that my Brooklyn Mirage headline has been rescheduled to the 9th or the 4th. Or the 4th and 9th, sorry. We'll only be hosting one show at a new date since it's now a Thursday. They're postponing shows for now until September. My team and multiple promoters have been working to backup options over the last 3 weeks, but nothing has made sense. Fucking hell. And shows, if I'm not mistaken, have been cancelled right up until the day. Let me actually check their fucking Instagram. I swear, have they posted anything on Instagram? Because I think they had something on their Instagram as well, but I'm pretty sure they might have taken some of that stuff down. But I don't think there's only been any updates on there, is it? Yeah, no updates. But so last update was when? When's the last update? May 20th was the last update. Memorial Day stuff has been pushed back. People in the comments, maybe give more notice than a few days. Then this venue is not happening. People are flying in for the shows, taking off time for work, cancelling other plans. It's not fair. You owe these people more than refunds. Exactly. So yeah, Brooklyn Mirage is on a mad thing right now. Absolute mad thing. So many shows have been postponed and pushed back. I guess we're going to have to wait and see if it pans out the way it's meant to pan out. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and fucking prayers. Talking about clubs, talking about going out. This article, courtesy of the New York Times, piqued my interest. The title says Gen Z doesn't want to start bar tabs. To the chagrin of bartenders, many 20-something bar goers prefer to close out and pay after every single drink, no matter how many they might be ordering during an outing. Just off the back of this, just off the top of it, before reading the article, I have to be honest, I never understood the whole bar tab thing anyway. It doesn't necessarily work in the UK. Maybe it works differently in America because you kind of tip bartenders, and bartenders don't have a minimum wage for the most part. They usually get paid off of tips because their minimum wage is so low. But the whole bar tab thing was never a good idea, I never thought. Especially if you were like a dirty, fucking struggling hipster, arty type person. You never had enough money anyway. So when you were going to the bars, number one, when you went to a bar, you already went pre-drink crazy. I know I used to do anyway. Not just sure if kids nowadays do the same thing, but we used to pre-drink hard. We used to get lit super, super hard before we went out, so that when you went out, you didn't have to spend too much money. Maybe you'd only had 20 quid on you, so that would be enough maybe to get one round and a drink for yourself, right? You just sneak off and get a drink on your own. But you never really opted for the bar tab thing because you never had the money to kind of make it make sense. You only wanted to pay for what you wanted to pay for at the time. And you also kind of enjoyed the whole kind of ritual of going up again to the bar, getting a drink. You never know, you might bump into a couple of hoes, a couple baddies and shit, get chatting. You know what I mean? You might bump into a couple fellas. They might invite you to have a little sample of their multivitamins, whatever. It's just fun. So I never understood the idea of having a bar tab. It's not necessarily a thing that gets done here. There are some cocktail places that do that, I know, but for the most part, I think actually in Europe they do that. I know they do that in Berlin. I've been to a couple of bars and pubs there, especially one bar I went to. What's that one? The one my friend used to work at. Is it the Zoom, whatever the fucking bar it's called? I forgot the fucking name of it. But they have a bar tab thing there. Maybe some other pubs do. And I think it kind of works kind of well there because the drinks are kind of cheap for the most part. But I don't know, man. I'd much rather pay for what I'm drinking one by one than having a bar tab open and doing that whole shit. It's a bit shit. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it looks cool with some people. I never really think it does. Just pay for your drinks when you want it. But hey, let's see what Gen Z are saying. Coach of the New York Times. Late one Saturday night at Bar Lubitsch at Lubitsch at West Hollywood cocktail bar known for its kitschy Soviet era decor, frosty vodka drinks, Scott Corink and Nolan Max wriggled themselves from a sweat-drenched dance floor and made their way to the bar counter. Mr. Korinki, 26, ordered a martini for himself and a vodka Red Bull for his friend. Yo, niggas are going to fucking bars and, or, I don't know, clubs with a dance floor and ordering martinis. I don't know, this new generation are wild, isn't it? Like, give me a quick vodka Red Bull or some shit, you know what I mean? At most, or a beer, or a fucking shot. I'm not ordering a fucking martini, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a fucking stickler for the fucking espresso martini in Berghain, right? Or Panama Bar. That's like a ritual, you know what I mean? You go into you queue up at Berghain, you're sweating buckets before you go in, you finally get passed through again, you get patted down and shit, you get in, boom, boom, boom. Ritual is always go straight to fucking Panama Bar and get your fucking espresso martini before you do anything, you know what I mean? And just enjoy the view from the back of everybody dancing, the light coming through the fucking blinds. Oh, fucking brilliant. But that's one. I'm not drinking espresso martinis all night. I'm just drinking one. Plus, if you're on certain multivitamins, you're going to be shitting hard. You know what I mean? And I don't know about you, but club toilets, wherever they are, Berghain, whether it's a fucking dive bar, whether it's a Weatherspoons, there's no place else I would rather not shit than a club toilet or a bar toilet. Never. Not doing it. I've done it before. The technique of like peeling off the tissue paper and placing it around the edge of the toilet seat and then sitting your fat ass down. But I try to avoid it if I can. The bartender yelled out a question over the music. Do you want to start a bar tab? Mr. Korinki shook his head and said no and swiftly closed out. The pair might order more drinks later on, but the prospect of opening a tab was verboten. Why leave a credit card with a bar? I don't know if I'm going to be here that long, so I don't want to leave a tab open. Commitment issues. Exactly. That's a good point, by the way. I forgot about that. That's the other point about the bar tab. You're meant to leave your card behind the bar, innit? Nah, brother. Not on that time, because, you know, certain multivitamins, I might need that card. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. Certain multivitamins, I might need that card. So I'm not about to leave it in the bar. And also, no. Just even if I'm not on multivitamins, I'm not leaving that shit behind the bar. Allow it. His ethos reflects a growing phenomenon among Gen Z bar gobbers, and aversion to opening a bar tab. Much to the dismay of bartenders, many 20-somethings prefer to close out and pay off every drink no matter how many beverages they are ordering. But I don't understand this. If you're a bartender, right, even in the States, wouldn't you prefer for people to pay for drinks one after the other instead of having a bar tab? Aren't people most likely to... won't you get more? Won't you get more from like tips after every drink as opposed to after the end of a bar tab? Or am I bugging? Like, I'm more likely to give you more money as a tip after every drink as opposed to the end of a bar tab. If I close out my bar tab, I might just give you £10 on top or 5. But if I'm ordering a drink, I might just say, hey, if it's a tenner, I'm just giving you that tenner. Whatever the change is, you keep it. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm just keep doing. Boom, 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 boom. And you get more money and tips that way, I'd assume. Plus, I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people pleasers. When I go to a bar, I want the bartenders to like me. You know what I mean? I want them to not like make my drink angrily. I don't care if it's a woman or a guy serving me. I want them to like me. So I go out of my way to just tip them anyway. Even in England, London, which you're not meant to because they usually earn a decent minimum wage. But I'm like, yeah, just keep the change. And I try when I go out anyway. Again, a bit of a people pleaser, dick sucker, weirdo guy. I try to take cash with me when I'm going out. So that, you know, hey, you can keep that change, just put it in your pocket and keep it moving. But, you know, some people are different. But yeah, I don't get it. It continues. So that's a nice looking bar, isn't it? New York seems to have like a good little vibe in terms of bars and clubs and shit. The reason for this is myriad. For a generation that consumes less alcohol than older drinkers, opening tabs can seem exorbitant. They have been accustomed to one and done transactions, usually with a simple tap of their phone, and consider purchasing drinks at a bar to be no different from, say, buying a coffee at a cafe. They can feel anxious about losing track of their spending by leaving their credit cards behind the bar. Yeah, just don't want to leave it, man. Allow that. I don't want to leave mine. It's like bringing your passport to a club for ID, and then they ask you to scan it. You're like, shit, why are you touching my passport? I mean, like, just allow it. It doesn't save anything. It doesn't save me anything if I keep a tab open, says Mirage Halajian, who lives in California, San Francisco, San Fernando Valley. I'll swipe my card again. I get an extra 10 seconds. They should actually try and push people to go to bars with cash as opposed to push people to put cards behind the table or cards behind the fucking till. If it was me. If I had a bar, I'd like push, hey, could you please bring cash, you know? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Just to tip the bar. That would be a way to go about it, as opposed to the whole fucking card thing. To be honest, a lot of people probably wouldn't come to your bar if you did have cash, because there's nothing worse than leaving a bar with loads of fucking change in your fucking pocket. But I think that would be the best way to kind of slightly push people in the direction of getting tips. He increases anxiety in me when I open a bar tab, says Cameron Halasuka, a 26-year-old beer sales representative from Walla Walla Wash. If we want to move elsewhere, it's a lot harder to close out and then leave. That's a good point, to be honest. There's nothing worse than being that one person that's holding up the entire group. When you want to bounce around from club to club, bar to bar, you're that one person's like, oh, wait, please, I got to close out my tab, you know? Plus, as well, people are shit. You close out your tab, no one's coming to help you. I mean, you might have ordered some drinks for the mandem. No one's coming to chip in. You feel me? Less drinking, more budget conscious. Studies suggest that Gen Z is drinking less than old generations. A 2023 Gallup poll found that the number of adults aged between 18 and 34 who said that they were occasional drinkers had fallen 10% points over the last 20 years. The thing that I don't like about this whole like Gen Z not drinking more, I don't mind that they're not drinking. I think it's a good thing. I think Gen Z kids who are not drinking and not, indulging themselves in the multivitamins is a good thing in general. I think most people should avoid drinking and drugs if they can, completely. It doesn't really do anything for the most part. You're not missing out on much. It's fucking shit. It's fucking terrible. And it only leads to fucking pain and suffering in the end anyway, right? And a fucking less than substantial bank account. So just avoid it. But the thing that I don't like about this new generation is the fact that they're spending the less time, now they're spending their time that they should be drinking and having drugs or doing drugs, they're now spending like talking online about politics and shit. Like politics is their hobby. Do you know what I mean? Like all this like social justice shit. It's like, bruh, I'd much rather you be drunk and high than you be online just spouting political shit every day or every night, acting as if you can change the world, acting as if like you know everything, when you're literally like just graduated from uni, you've just got your first job, you barely know nothing, you barely know anything, and here you are online talking a bunch of shit. So I'd much prefer if they kind of did that. But I also like the fact that they're not copying, they're not fucking continuing the same nonsense that some of my generation did in terms of being overly druggy and drinking and all that sort of shit. Because a lot of people, even nowadays, have kind of had to go to the real darkness. You know what I mean? They've had to go to the real end in order to realize that maybe they should stop these type of things and go completely sober. And some people have, for lack of some people have suffered and died. Like RIP, one guy that I fucking knew from the scene as well, who recently passed away. Actually, I think about it, there's been quite a lot of people from that bar. Yeah, big up the alibi, it did a lot, it served a lot for me, it helped me a lot in life and shit. I got to meet a lot of really great people, some of which I'm really close to this day. But fuck, man, it's no surprise that a really popular dive bar in Dawson, now looking back, so many people have passed away who are associated with that place. Don't get me wrong, none of them, I don't think a lot of them have passed away from anything drugs or booze related. Most of it has been like, unfortunately, mental health shit from what I can think, and sometimes illnesses. But it's probably no surprise, a lot of people, like a really influential bar and a really influential time in life, in culture and scene, has also been the place where a lot of people have kind of passed. A lot of the alumni from that place unfortunately passed away. One guy in general was on the time people are talking about. I'm really kind of heartbroken about that. So RIP my guy. It continues. Joel Chavez, who uses the she they pronouns. Okay, girl. Observed that their parents' generation tended to drink excessively. It prompted MX Chavez to reconsider their own drinking. MX Chavez. So if you use a pronoun she they, your Mr. Mrs. is MX Chavez. Huh. Closing on the tab does a lot mentally to stop you from indulging because you don't have easy access to it. Taylor Price, 24 years old, New York-based financial podcaster and advisor, said her generation was more deliberate with money because young adults seem to be seeing so much economic uncertainty. Many of us will say, I'm only spending $40 tonight and monitor it in real time. To be fair, we did that too. But we just spent an extra $40 before the night too. Because actually, I'm lying. We spent a lot at the bar. Millennials spent a lot in the bar, man. We went hard. You know what I mean? At the end of the night, you'd be like, fuck, I spent $150, You drink super hard and you pre-drink, and then you'd also go hard in the bar. So, and back then the bar's prices weren't expensive as they were now. So to be fair, Gen Z are probably a lot more financially literate than us too. Michelle McMillan, a former portfolio manager and securities analyst who teaches personal finance at the University of Maryland, said accessibility of online financial literacy tools had shaped her undergraduate students' hyper-cautious money habits. This is a scene. What's this from? Some people said that they didn't open tabs because they didn't want to leave their credit cards behind. These are really nice pictures. I love these really old school like flash pictures that they do in New York Times. This kind of aesthetic that they kind of push now. I really, really like it. These digital camera pictures, that's kind of thing. It's really nice. Another really cool picture here too. By opening a tab saying, yep, I'm buying a round of drinks, and closing it, and after that, you know how much you're spending. It's not going to be some great surprise. There's that moment of pause where they put on the card reader, said, blah, blah, blah. By the way, I'm not a big believer in fucking buying rounds. I'm not going to lie. If I'm with a buddy, like one person, fair. Or maybe if you're with 3 people, like, no, it's like you plus the 2 people, cool. But I don't really believe in the whole buying rounds thing. Because especially in London, there's too many, everyone's financial capabilities are not the same, In a group of 5 people, one person's earning $150 per year, one person's earning $27,000 per year, and one person fucking is on the dole, you know what I mean? So it's not really fair to be expecting everybody to be buying rounds. I don't believe in the whole rounds thing. Buy your own drinks, man. I know it's longer, everyone has to go up and do it. I just don't believe in the whole buying rounds thing. I swear to God. It depends what kind of scene you're in, what type of friends you have. Maybe you have to get richer friends, but I think sometimes buying rounds, you can end up like sponsoring somebody's whole night and end up buying anything. And they're always conveniently in the toilet. They're always outside having a cigarette. They always fucking just disappear whenever it's their turn. Like, I fucking hate that. And I also don't want to be like waiting for something. It's like if you don't have your own joint, you have to wait for it to be passed around. When you're buying a round, if you finish your drink quickly, like I do, because I've got a fucking big gob as I yap, you can tell. I have to wait for somebody to then get finished and then they can buy the round. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to ask you to go buy the round because that sounds fucking nuts. So I don't believe in the whole buying rounds thing. I don't believe in it. I fucking hate it. Annoyed bartenders. It's unclear when young drinkers started souring on bar tabs, but there's through line between COVID-19 pandemic and shifting bar habits. During and after the pandemic, more people started using cards, says Doug Cantor, executive committee member at the Merchants Payments Coalition, a retailers group coupled with Gen Z's distaste for carrying around cash and the ubiquity of mobile payment options such as Apple Pay has contributed to the decline of bar tabs among 20-somethings. Okay. Young people hate, I guess people in general, no one really likes carrying cash on it. I actually don't mind it. Like every time when I do my little techno weekenders, especially when I go to Berlin, like I've got some euros on me now. I do actually prefer to take out euros. Like sometimes I'll go to a fucking cash point or bank and I'll try and take out 100, and then hopefully sometimes it gives you in denomination of tens. I love that. Or in 20, so that you can then budget how much you got to spend per day. Or sometimes I'll be super OCD, or I'll take out like 200 euros and shit. Hopefully, then if I can get it converted or get it changed up to tens in a fucking spatty, and then I'll roll up or I'll fold up each 10 euro. So then I know how much I'm spending, especially in places like Berlin where the drink prices are quite decent. You can kind of easily kind of clock how much you're spending throughout the year, throughout the little weekend, instead of not spending too much, or just know what you're spending in general, but also being able to tip easily because you got change. And because you're in a foreign country, I don't really care about change anyway. I just want to pay, every time with cash, like a note, I'm just going to give you whatever I have in my wallet anyway. Do you know what I mean? So I think it actually works better for them. But I understand why you don't like it. Sometimes having all that change in your pocket is fucking annoying. It does definitely seem like a theme, the article says, especially when younger people, says Brianna Boeki, who has worked in hospitality and bartended in Indianapolis, New Zealand, and now New Orleans. You have people come up 4 or 5 times, get drinks and close the tab every time. That's the bartender, right? Big up Brianna. Bartenders aren't thrilled with this pay-as-you-go mindset, especially if customers ask for elaborate drinks. We're trying to be super efficient because we know these cocktails take like 10-15 steps to make, said David Perez, a bartender who has worked in Houston area restaurants and tiki bars. We're trying to save off as many seconds as possible. Bruh, to be fair, bartenders that get annoyed by people's drinks, I never understand that. Like, shut up. Get on with your job. Like, if the drink is annoying, it takes too long, why do you have it as an option? It shouldn't be an option. It shouldn't be an option. I know cocktails are fun and they're cute, and you can probably cocktails, you can easily mark them up, I'm assuming. That's why most bars probably do cocktails. You can easily mark them up. And you could obviously, it's great in the sum of their parts. You can mix it down and shit with whatever. But if a cocktail takes too long and annoys all the bartenders and pisses them off, then just have straight, easy mixers. Like, don't offer cocktails. You know what I mean? Don't offer cocktails. But I don't want you to get mad. You got it on the fucking menu. People are allowed to order it. If you got it in the menu, I can order it. Like, don't give me a dirty look because I ordered a fucking cocktail. I wouldn't do it personally. I'm not the person to go to a bar or club and order a fucking cocktail. I'll go to a cocktail bar to order that. But if you got it on your menu and order it, don't give me a fucking dirty look. Please. Please. When bars are slammed with throngs of people waiting to order drinks, constantly opening and closing tabs slows down the service for everyone. Then don't offer it. Like, god damn it, these people, bro. For each moment of one of the guys is standing there fumbling with their cell phone, trying to unlock the code, that's time that is missed out on serving the next person when they're 3 deep on the Friday night, said Al Barber, who manages the bar The Prince, a near-century-old bar in Los Angeles, Koreatown that's appeared in Mad Men and New Girl. There's opportunity to cost. These kids never learned the proper way to barfly. I don't know, man. Bragging about the best ways or the best practices of how to drink, it's kind of loser behavior. I'm not gonna lie. There's nothing cool. There's nothing to be gained from being a good bar aficionado club. Like, when I talk about clubs and whatever I talk about in this podcast, I feel like a fucking loser. There's nothing really cool or great about it. It's just something I enjoy, fair enough, in my free time, but you shouldn't be aspiring to be like the best clubber, the best bar attender and shit, or bar goer. Like, that's some GAY shit. Like, it doesn't matter. Just buy your drink it how you want to drink it. Like, all this nonsense is fucking dumb. Constantly closing out can hurt a bar's bottom line in other ways. Every time a bartender swipes a credit card, the bar pays a fixed plus percentage on the transaction. Single transactions done repeatedly can cost the bar more. Oh, I see. So it's better to pay all in one to a transaction fee. Okay, but then that's your own fault too. Have a minimum spending in a transaction fee. Simple as that. Have a minimum spend. Make the minimum spend 2. Force people to buy 2 drinks each so they get fucking licked. And then your security staff will hate you because people are going to get super drunk way more quickly. You know, I don't know. You can't win, I guess, in this regard. If someone spends $100 in one transaction, for instance, the percentage fee might be $4 or 4%, plus a fee of roughly 30 cents. Merchants' fees vary. But if a customer spends the same 100 through 10 transactions, the bar is charged the same 4% per swipe, plus a fixed fee of 30 cents multiplied by 10. In the instance of fees now for $7. But to be fair, bar tabs kind of take the spontaneity out of going for a drink. You know? They take the spontaneity out of it because you don't know how long you're gonna be anywhere. Sometimes the best nights start off with the whole crew saying we're only going out for one. Sometimes the best nights you've ever had in your life start off by saying, I'm not gonna get on it tonight. Tonight we're not getting on it. No, I'm not getting on it tonight. I got gym in the morning, I got football, I got what. Sometimes the best nights always start off by you saying, whatever happens today, I'm not getting fucking hammered, I'm not getting fucking super sloshed. And then guess what happens? It just rolls into that kind of evening. So if you start telling people so how are you going to know when you're going to need a bar tab to be open or not? Until you get there, until you're about 3 or 4 drinks in. And you start fucking talking to the fucking hot, bartender. She starts giving you the eyes. You start thinking she likes you, but she's actually just a professional doing her job. And she's got a fucking husband and a whole family back at home. But she's giving you a good little time and giving you some attention, listening to your dumb stories and laughing at your little jokes. And it's all a good time, and then by then you're like 6 drinks in, and then you want to open the tab. You know what I mean? You don't know. It takes the spontaneity out of it, man. Come on, clubs, be fun. That piles up the cards when the cards are swiped hundreds of times per night. Credit card fees, which soared 80% from 2020 to 2024, according to Mr. Cantor, the Merchants Payment Coalition, are one of the highest operation costs for bars or restaurants besides labor and rent. Really? I didn't know that. Huh? One of the highest operating costs for a bar is the fucking fees. That is crazy. I didn't know that. That is honestly opening a bar, having a club. I think I've probably got to reconsider my options. I really want to open my own club sometime in the future. I want to do like a Joe Rogan thing. Just open my own club and just book myself to play, and then I can become the next Tiesto. But Jesus Christ, bro. Merchant fees, credit card fees are the highest cost, are the highest operating cost for most bars and restaurants besides labor and rent. Besides, salaries and rent. Jesus Christ. Derek Captain, wine and spirit sales consultant from Tallahassee, Florida, said car transactions at his former bar and restaurants accounted for quite a bit of the business, which sometimes brought in $15,000 per day. The restaurant eventually started to pass the cost on to customers. Mr. Captain said other bars subsidize these credit card fees by taking 3% of the bartenders' tips. Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. So the only option is to save you from paying so much in fees is to offset the cost of the fee onto the patrons who are not going to like that, or to offset the fee onto the fucking bartenders and take it out of their tips. They're not going to like that either. The options. Lessons in bar etiquette. Yep, look at that. I don't know. There's something kind of cool. Maybe someone should do a photo book about that. I know there's a photo book that exists. There's really cool club book of all the popular techno clubs in Berlin where someone took pictures of the dance floor at the end of the night at all the major big clubs. It's super fucking cool. I wonder if somebody could do like the same thing with like the back of bars, take a picture of the fucking tills and shit at the end of every night at some of these big kind of cocktail bar places and shit. That'd be so fucking cool to kind of see how they look and shit. That'd be amazing to check out and shit. The different ways they're set up, cleanliness and shit, all the random stickers. Love it. Mr. Bryan said that he had opened bar times before, but that negative experience has once given him a pause. One night he was trying to get a bartender's attention so he could close his tab at a busy pub. He waited so long that he missed his bus back home. But Mr. Barnes believed that shyness also prevented him from speaking up and grabbing his counter quickly. Yeah, that's true. But that's also part of a good night. I bet he had a good night home. I bet you had a good journey home, man. That's also fun. That's also part of the fun. Missing your bus, not getting home on time, that's also part of the experience. Don't deny it. Some people in the older generation feel more confident trying to flag down someone and make a little bit of a stir to get themselves out there. I worked in service. I'm self-conscious sometimes, so I still didn't want to force anyone's hand. Now, I've worked in service too, and I know that some people are just busy and don't see you, so you have to go out of your way to kind of get their attention. It's not a bad thing, especially if you've got a bar tab open. It's not a bad thing at all. It's not a bad thing. I've done it plenty of times. And you actually gotta, like, once you do that, you also got to be conscious that their reaction isn't going to be personal. You know, it's not a personal thing. You're gonna make them frustrated and pissed off because you're like waving at them and shit, trying to get their attention, but you're just trying to close out your tab so you can keep it moving. It's not a big deal. And obviously you can tip them to kind of, you know, make up for the fucking wave or the hello, excuse me. But obviously one thing you shouldn't do: never fucking click your fingers. Never click your fingers. Never whistle. Never click your fingers and whistle. That's the quickest way to get some drink thrown at you or just get thrown out. You know what I mean, never click your fingers and whistle. Sensing that some Gen Z barflies might be bashful or perhaps less experienced at traditional bar etiquette, bartenders have tried gently nudging them to consider opening tabs. If he anticipates an impending rush to the bar, Mr. Perez will sometimes tell bargoers, "Hey guys, let's just start a tab right now." That's fair. That's fair. If you've gone up a few times and you know they can see you're chilling and you've got some, you know, you got some of the hers with you, you got some baddies with you, you got some lads with you, they can see you having a good time, just open a tab. You know what I mean? That's an offer. Fair enough. But if I say no, don't give me a dirty look. Others opt for something more overt. For better or worse, I'm pretty well known for chirping back at people, says Mr. Barber. I'll be like, that statement makes no sense. What do you mean you'll close it out for now? And then they'll laugh embarrassedly and they'll be like, okay, my bad. Okay, that's, to be fair, I remember that happening in New York. I'm not sure if that's a New York thing, but that was a big lesson I learned. When we went to New York for the first time, me and my friends, big up all the BNTL crew and extended family, when we were all like 18, 19, 20-ish kind of years, the first sort of like big lads holiday, like 14, 15 of us went there. We didn't really know much about the whole tipping thing. So we were all these London lads, right? Big group of boys making a bunch of noise, being all fucking toxic and shit, ordering a bunch of drinks, and you know, one tip, and I think the guy was kind of small too. He was like, "Hey lads, like, come on, like, just open the fucking tab. You know what I mean? Open the tab and start tipping, please." Like, just straight up told us that. And I remember, like, it kind of catches you off guard, like, oh, you kind of feel a bit embarrassed. You kind of got told off by our bartender, but that one person told us, and to be fair, we then were well behaved throughout the entire thing. When we went to all the other bars, we were tipping as per normal. You know what I mean? We know exactly how to behave. So it actually is a good thing if there's one asshole bartender that kind of tells you off about that. It's actually good because then it helps you avoid the same issues later on down the line. So you kind of save bartenders other jobs as well. If a group of friends close out separate tabs multiple times, Seattle Central Salon, Tiara Horn will call them out from behind the bar. You guys all know each other. You guys are not friends. You can't be this. You can't get this right, lols. They haven't even thought about it, says Miss Horn. Someone has to bully these people respectfully. That's true. Someone has to bully these people respectfully. It's a fucking insane statement to put out there, but I get it. Big up the New York Times. Gen Z doesn't want to start a bar tab. I get Gen Z. Big up Gen Z for not being big on the drinks and the boozing and the drugs and all that sort of shit and kind of pulling it back. But it's also sad because it means a lot of bars and cool kind of clubs were also losing because there's no one to kind of fill them. But I guess it is what it is. I guess it is what it is. Talking about is what it is. Talking about it is what it is. PSG v Inter Milan. PSG v Inter Milan on Saturday. Probably one of the greatest Champions League final performances I've seen in my entire life. Not the greatest games because Inter weren't really in it, but the greatest performance from PSG. Jesus freaking Christ. 5-0. 5 blood clot nil. And to be honest, it could have been 7. It could have been 7. It could have been 7. Easily. And maybe on a good day, maybe even 10. PSG tore Inter Milan to shreds. To be fair to Inter, I think the commentator said that Inter Milan had played 18 more games than the league winners Napoli did this season. So maybe at the end, it wasn't really a quality thing because I think player for player, the teams are, I wouldn't say they're even, but I wouldn't say PSG are that elite, super when it comes to PSG to Inter. Yes, they've got faster players, but I think in terms of profile, Inter Milan have some decent players in their team too. That's why they beat a lot of big teams and got to the final. But I just think they ran out of energy. They ran out of cardio. They ran out of energy. They ran out. They just didn't have anything more in the gas tank. And PSG were on full tilt. And it ended the way it ended. Honestly, what a performance! Some amazing goals, amazing performances from throughout the team. My standout man of the match in this performance, I think, might be Pacho. That Ecuadorian midfielder at the back, Pacho, who's kind of taken hold of the Kimpembe role in terms of being that left-sided kind of centre back. He was imperious. Pacho was imperious, bro. I don't think he lost a single duel. I honestly don't think he lost a single duel. Whether he was stepping forward, whether he was snapping at the back of Martinez and fucking what's his name, fucking Desai, whether he was fucking bringing the ball out from the back, whether he was fucking spraying the ball out wide, whether he was clearing corners, crosses, Pacho was imperious. Impressive performance. Obviously Vitinha too. Has to be said, Vitinha was special. I loved his performance, dictating the flow of the game. Him and Neves, like, just incredible fucking duo. Obviously, Fabio Ruiz as well is incredible. And then obviously up front, Dembele, like, he didn't score, but again, just the constant pressing. Like, you think to yourself, like, I've heard rumors alleging that fucking Marcus Rashford might be moving to PSG soon. I'm sure some of you guys have heard the rumors that Rashford might be going to PSG. And sometimes you look at clips like this that I'm showing on screen from the game where PSG faced Borussia Dortmund, I think, and you think to yourself, like, could Rashford do this for fucking Enrique's side? I don't think so. I don't think Rashford could do this. Like, the way they pressed for the entire front line, from Cava to Dembele to Doué, they are pressing monsters. They all track back. They work for the team. Especially since, you know, the Messi, Neymar, Mbappe era has ended. This new generation, this new era of PSG, they all work for each other. Nobody is just kind of up front doing what they want to do. They all work for each other. They all work as a team. It's a very, very impressive kind of team unit display. So that was fucking great to see. And Dembele as well, you have to imagine, like, I remember, there was a time at Barcelona where he was regarded as a distraction. He was regarded as a bad influence. He was regarded as, like, having a lack of professionalism on and off the pitch. There were rumors that he was staying up late, super late, to play like FIFA and shit. He was getting injured all the time. So he eventually ended up getting sold. But now he completely turned around his career. And now he's like the #1 probably player. He's the first name on the team sheet. He's a leader. I never really saw that in him at Barca. He's literally a leader. When the captains aren't playing like Marquinhos and shit, he's captain. He leads even without the armband. He kind of sets the pace up front. He's always demanding a lot from his fucking players. It's a complete turnaround, and I wonder what happens, because he was like, if anything, Dembele was kind of giving me Sancho vibes in terms of attitude, but then he just turns it around. I wonder what happens. I wonder if we're going to see it with Sancho, because I love Jadon Sancho. I'm a big fan of his, and it's kind of sad to see what's happening with him now in Chelsea. Chelsea are kind of like, you know, fucking around in terms of waiting for it, in terms of not giving any impression of when he's actually going to be able to sign for them permanently. But if he does come back to United, is it possible that he could turn his career around the same way Dembele did? Or if he goes to another club, can he do that? Is it possible? Like, what actually happens for a player like Dembele to go from being constantly injured, very unprofessional at fucking Barcelona, to suddenly being this like stalwart, this like leader at PSG? What fucking happened? Regardless of what happened, he is fucking incredible. Obviously, Doué as well, I'm a big fan of. He kind of, you know, he's basically a Neymar regen in everything that he does, his mannerisms, the way he dribbles and shit. He's fucking incredible to see as well. And just overall, what a great performance and a great reward for PSG, and all the investment, all the things they've been doing to kind of eventually get this trophy, and they finally got it. It's just funny that they win a Champions League with a team that's like relative, which is a team that's more of a team. They don't really have a lot of Galacticos. You have Dembele and shit, but this is a team made of actual team. It's like everyone kind of plays off each other, as opposed to the other team with like Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe and shit, which was kind of reliant on those guys kind of creating some magic and kind of scoring. Now it's like a team game, and they're all very, very, very important. So big up them, and also big up the kid at the end, Mayulu. As soon as he came on, I knew with that fucking name, Mayulu. I had to Google it, and I found out he's Congolese origin. I fucking knew it. So big up him. French football was fucking stacked with so many good players, especially at that kind of age, who are fucking killing it. He came on and scored a goal right at the end as well. So big up PSG. Incredible performance. Incredible performance. And some of the pictures after. some of the pictures afterwards from fucking PSG when they won are so good, especially the one with fucking what's his name, with Dembele with the trophy. There's one that he took with Adidas. This one here, this Adidas one is fucking impressive, really fucking cool. I think people are suggesting that maybe Denzel Dumfries and a few other people took the same picture, because I'm imagining you have to do these photo shoots before the Champions League final happens, and you have to keep them secret because, you know, it's kind of embarrassing if they leak and you don't win. So it's incredible, really fucking good picture. Kind of reminds me of that LeBron James picture where he's kind of like looking sad and wearing his Jeff Hamilton fucking varsity jacket in the changing room after the LA Lakers won the championship as well. Such a good picture. It goes so hard. There's also a great picture of Dembele here, holding up the Champions League, or bringing the Champions League trophy out there. I think it's Roland Garros tennis as well happening as well. That's fucking great to see. And there was another picture too of Dembele. I think Dembele's got quite a few good pictures, him with a trophy. There's one with Dembele holding as he's on the ground, on the floor with the trophy. Dembele put with the middle fingers up, it's fucking getting chucked in the air, so sick as well. Marquinhos with one of the lead guys there at PSG too. Dembele too with the trophy there again. Yeah, Dembele with the trophy here on the ground, so fucking cool. Marquinhos there too as well. Marquinhos saying after the game how he was sobbing on the pitch when he, you know, before even the final whistle went, because of the emotions tied to the fucking victory and everything that went into it. Honestly, man, I looked at this game, I was just thinking to myself, how long until United are at this level? How long until United are playing at this sort of level where we're even competing for these type of trophies? How long? How fucking long, man? It's gonna be many years, maybe even a couple of decades until we're back to that level. I swear to God, man. But yeah, look at that, the fucking open top bus parade outside fucking or in Paris, outside the fucking whatever that fucking thing is called. Really fucking cool, man. Really great celebration. And again, you can count on PSG, because PSG, one thing they do really well is the media, branding, marketing side of things. So you just knew when PSG won the Champions League, they were gonna go crazy with the celebrations. And it looks fucking great, man. Barcola actually came on as well. He probably should have scored a couple of goals. He was unlucky. But yeah, the pictures are so fucking cool, man. That trophy as well is so good. It might be one of the best looking trophies. Apart from the World Cup. I really like the World Cup too. I think the Champions League might be one of the best looking trophies. It's so fucking gorgeous. The middle finger up everywhere. Dembele is not having it. Dembele is a fucking legend. Who got the young player of the season was Doué. Player of the tournament was Dembele. Great to see. There was some Parisian treats there with the PSG score. More pictures there. Kimpembe unfortunately had some really bad injuries throughout the last season and shit, but he was on the bench, I think. He's also crying tears of joy alongside Marquinhos, two stalwarts, two veterans of the club, fucking killing it. Honestly, man, some of the pictures are so good, man. I just wonder when my beloved United will be back there. When will my beloved United be playing at this sort of level again? I'm not too sure if it's going to happen anytime soon, because we are so far away. We're not even competing in the league, let alone fucking competing in the fucking Champions League. You know what I mean? It's going to be so long. Yeah, Neymar crying in one final. Doué playing, crying, celebrating with tears of joy there. Luis Enrique, treble winner, by the way, in two separate clubs. He's definitely in the level of elite manager. Treble winner at two separate clubs alongside Mourinho and Pep Guardiola. Like, fucking phenomenal. Donnarumma as well. Another fucking great performance from him. He didn't even have to do much actually in the Inter Milan game. But yeah, he fucking killed it too. Fuck, man. Such a good match. Great fucking scoreline as well. Incredible fucking performance all around. Big up PSG. Big up blood clot PSG. Yeah, they want their player to win the Ballon d'Or. Not sure that's going to happen though. So many great pictures. Moving on, let's talk quickly about United. Manchester United have sealed the 62.5 million transfer of Matheus Cunha from Wolves. Very good signing. Great player. Not going to lie. I don't believe he's going to save us. I'm not going to lie. I don't think one player will save us. I would go as far as saying this. This is a bit controversial opinion. I would go as far as saying I think it's way more important about the wing backs and midfielders we buy as opposed to the strikers. I'm not gonna lie. I think we need an upgrade in an 10x upgrade in wing backs and in midfielders, before we go for strikers. I think the strikers are important, don't get me wrong. We've still the Cunha signing. There's also rumours that we're in for Mbeumo from Brentford, another good player. But I think we are so much in need of, you know, a midfielder that's be able to run up and down, number 8s, number 10s, and good wingers, upgrading on the wingers, upgrading on the wing backs. That will really change us. I don't think, you know, Højlund and those kind of guys are missing a boatload of chances, gilt edge. We're not creating enough chances for our strikers. We don't have wing backs that really attack and bomb forward, not in the ways that PSG do, for instance. We don't really have fast, fluid front three that are really can tear teams apart. We're not really that dangerous on the counter-attack anymore. So I think as great as Matheus Cunha will be in that number 10 position, I think we need way, or as a striker, we need way more midfielders and wing backs right now. That's where we're really kind of in trouble. That's where we really kind of are in problem. And I think if we go into next season with just Cunha and fucking Mbeumo, it's not going to do much. I swear to God, it's not going to do much. People will be surprised. It's not going to do much. We're not where we're at now because we're not have a, you know, one number 10 missing and one fucking striker missing. We need a lot more players, especially in wing back. We need a lot more players, but I'm happy we've got somebody at least. Kershaw of Sky Sports News: Cunha will become Ruben Amorim's first signing of the summer, as he looks to rebuild the squad that finished 15th in the Premier League. The club have moved swiftly to seal the transfer the opening day of the transfer window. The Cunha deal as well, I think, happened because Cunha wants to come to United. He's like a proper United fan. He had other clubs as options, but he probably sees United as, obviously being a fan and where we are, it's probably a chance for you to create a legacy, create some change, and you also got an opportunity to kind of do great things. You know what I mean? That opportunity is still there. Despite us finishing 15th now of European football, a lot of players will see that badge, an opportunity to kind of do a lot of great, especially with this next season, us playing one game a week. Some people are saying we might win the league. I don't necessarily think so, but there are some fans out there that are hoping that we win the league next season, because we're playing one game per season. That's possible. Who knows? Cunha leaves Wolves as the club world records sale after United met the 62.5 million clause, agreeing to structure the payment over 2 years. He signed subject to visa registration to United. By the way, big up Wolves and their scouting department. Wolves' scouting department, player recruitment, whatever it is, they are fucking great. Because they've signed a bunch of players who've gone on to do big things at other clubs. So big up fucking Wolves, man. They've got a really long track record of bringing in some top players or allowing players to come in, prove themselves, and then go on to steal some big moves. So big up Wolves. Cunha, who set to play as number 10 for United, scored 17 goals, provided 6 assists with Wolves last season. He's also played up front for most of that season. Wolves are happy that Cunha's move has gone through as quickly as possible. The release clause was inside a new contract in January. Nobody at Wolves wanted to long drawn out saga involving the player during the summer. They received a full release clause in the terms set out in the contract in 3 installments payable by summer 2027. United were initially offering to pay in 5 installments. Big up Cunha, and also he's a bit of a cunt. I like that he's a bit of a cunt. I like that he's a bit mature. He's at a good age, 26, 27. He's coming in with a lot to prove. And he's, like I say, he's a bit of a shithouse cunt villain. I like that. We need a bit of attitude. We need a little bit of, like, you know, we need a little bit of that. And a little bit of like arrogance and shit in the team. Hopefully Anthony comes back too, by the way. Hopefully Anthony comes back and he's playing alongside. Like, that's going to be good. That sort of cuntiness, that attitude, that fucking bravado, that Brazilian energy, we need a little bit of that as well. And I'm hoping as well Casemiro stays, just to kind of integrate him into the club. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of these South American players, they're very family orientated. They kind of like to have people around them and shit. So if it's only one hit, especially people that speak the same language, so hopefully Casemiro stays just for one season, just to kind of help it integrate. Or especially last season's contract. Wolves expected to be busy this summer. To build on the progress made under Vitor Pereira, they proved not to one-man team with the results and performances when Cunha was suspended. United will be keeping an eye on Cunha's development since his impressive display at Wolves at Old Trafford, the opening match, 2023, exactly. He tore us apart, mate. He tore us apart. He had a great fucking, he had a great trial there. He tore us apart that game. Despite interest from other teams, Cunha wanted to play for United. He thinks United are one of the biggest clubs in the world and was not deterred by the missing out on Champions League football following the defeat at Tottenham. One source told Sky Sports the 26-year-old loves United. Yeah, so that's a good thing. At least nowadays I feel like, because we're so shit, for lack of a better term, because we're so shit, I feel like we're signing a lot of players who actually want to play for the club. That's actually a good thing. We're not getting a lot of mercenaries, I feel like. I feel like we get a lot of players who actually want to come to United because they love the club so much. Obviously, it helps that we pay good salaries and shit. Yeah, I get it. But I think it's a good thing because I don't really get the feeling that we have a lot of mercenaries that are just playing for the money. We have a lot of clubs and players that literally love to play for Old Trafford. They love playing for United. They love playing at Old Trafford. They love the away days, love the support, bloody blah, blah, blah. That's a good thing. United are understood to have been impressed with Cunha's desire to join, whether they're European football or not. 5 Premier League teams, including United, wanted to sign the Brazilian international this summer. Also, Aston Villa were among those who held spiritual talks with the Brazilian Saudi Arabia club, were also interested. Yeah, I think he would be great for Arsenal too. Arsenal need someone like that. I'm not really sure they need a proper number 9, but I think they need a bit of arrogance, attitude. That's why I hope Arsenal go for fucking Sesko and get him, because Arsenal need that. Apart from somebody clinical up front, they need someone with a bit of attitude, a little bit of confidence, bravado, to kind of really have to kind of lead that front line. Let's see what happens there. The forward signed for coming to 2022 for around 34 million, registered 15 goals, 66 to 33 appearances in the Premier League throughout the 2024-2025 season. So yeah, big up Cunha. Happy to see him sign. Happy to hear that he signed. One more thing before we leave, let's talk about Supreme and Good Enough. Really excited about this collaboration. Most of you guys will know that Hiroshi Fujiwara is one of my fucking North Stars. He's one of my heroes, people I've looked up to for a long time, especially when I first got into streetwear. I was obsessed with reading and researching everything regarding Hiroshi Fujiwara, John Takahashi, Nigo, that initial Nowhere store, the brands that Hiroshi Fujiwara started. There's one particular one, I forgot the fucking name, that I had that I've owned. He has started over the years. Hiroshi Fujiwara, legendary person in streetwear, one of the streetwear OGs, was kind of influential. If I'm not mistaken, he's the person that created the idea of having the flipping label, the little kind of tag on the sleeve of a t-shirt. He started a bunch of small brands. He was always kind of about the idea of like starting these little projects, these little brands, and then kind of ending them. Good Enough was one of them. It kind of started and stopped. They also had a collaboration or like a working partnership with in the UK with Hideout and the guys that own Gimme 5. They do a lot of collaborations with those guys involved as well. I've owned a bunch of stuff from that era of fucking Good Enough as well that I've kind of bought back in the day on like Yahoo Japan auctions and shit that I still have. A bunch of t-shirts, M65s, jeans, long sleeves, wallets. I remember that there was that one particular Gimme 5 sale. Big up everybody that knows. There was one Gimme 5 sale from back in the day that I went to where I bought like wallets. I bought like Good Enough wallet, which I fucking lost to this day, but these really nice Good Enough wallets are just this crinkled leather finish that had these really nice wooden kind of zip fucking medallion things on it. Oh, so fucking good. So it's a kind of it's an ongoing project, the brand Good Enough. It seems like it doesn't really put out collections every season. It kind of is a brand that I would love to kind of model my brand behind, in terms of having this kind of loose idea of seasons and not really approaching it in that kind of way, in terms of having it seasonal. You just, whenever you have a cool idea, you kind of put something out. But now they've got a collaboration they're doing with Supreme coming out very soon, or coming out this weekend. So it's courtesy to Supreme. It says Good Enough was a Japanese clothing brand established in 1999 by Hiroshi Fujiwara. Fujiwara has long been considered one of the most influential figures in global design culture. OG streetwear godfather, by the way. Long lived Good Enough. Although short-lived, Good Enough played a critical role in the evolution of contemporary streetwear, contemporary Japanese street fashion. Sorry, I know they keep saying street fashion. They don't say streetwear. Interesting. A teenage punk obsessive, Fujiwara traveled to London in the early 1980s to immerse himself in music and culture. Yet upon his arrival, Malcolm McLaren insisted that the London was boring and insisted he go to New York, where Fujiwara began. Where hip hop began to migrate downtown. Fujiwara returned to Tokyo, brimming with hip hop records, DJing techniques, and information, exposing Japan to hip hop sounds for the first time. Imagine being one of the persons that exported hip hop to fucking Japan. Again, he's my idol because he's a proper multi-hyphenate. He kind of has music he releases, plays guitar, sings, DJs, snowboards, designs for his own brand, designs under the Fragment, which is kind of like his design studio, a bunch of collaborations with other brands, loads of collaborate with Adidas, Nike, all this stuff underneath. Has platforms that he's built out like Honey and shit, magazines he's launched, like so many different things, man. He's definitely one of the guys that's got one of the coolest kind of jobs he's just made for himself. Big up fucking Hiroshi Fujiwara. It continues there. In those days, people were really hungry for information, and somehow I had pretty good access to, because I had friends in London, New York, Los Angeles, everywhere. Fujiwara has said I'd been visiting many places and talking to people, so I had a constant flow of info. Good Enough was born from a cross-cultural exchange, inspired by Stussy and British label Anarchic Adjustment. Fujiwara and designer Skatefing brought together disparate influences: punk, hip hop, BMX, skateboarding, and Western luxury. By the way, big up Skatefing. Skatefing is one of the most underrated fucking heroes in streetwear. The moment Skatefing steps away from anything, it kind of falls to the ground. I wonder what he's doing now, what type of brands he's helping work with now, because Skatefing, when he was involved with fucking Bape, Too good, too fucking good. With Good Enough, Fujiwara effectively established the foundation of the contemporary street fashion market. Again, they keep saying street fashion, not streetwear. I wonder why. Offering high quality utilitarian garments with intelligent, compelling graphics. Fujiwara's process made a transformative impact on the young people in his orbit, namely Jun Takahashi and Nigo, who would go on to found Undercover and A Bathing Ape. Imagine, those are people that looked up to you. You know what I mean? Those are your fucking young boys. Fucking sick. Before establishing their own brand, Jun and Nigo opened the highly influential Harajuku shop Nowhere in 1993. Fujiwara supporting guidance, but by the late 90s, the Japan street fashion scene was exploding. Fujiwara decided to cease Good Enough operations, shifting it to focus on helming a growing fashion company. Supreme has worked a Good Enough for new collection. It's cool. And it's available when? It's available this Thursday, right? Yeah, June 5th. So let's see what's available. Let's see what I want. So we got this great bomber jacket straight off the bat. Classic bomber jacket with a big S on the front, with also some Good Enough iconography there on the inside. Really nice. If I'm not mistaken, yep, some embroidery there on the fucking S. I'm not minding that as well. Oh, that Good Enough G on the back as well. Can't fucking hate on that. I actually like his little ponytails on the back there. Big up the model. Nice screen printed tonal Good Enough logo on the back of the bomber jacket. So hard. I always say I have enough. Oh my god, the bomber jacket's reversible. Fuck your mother. Fuck your mother. I need it so bad. Fuck your mother. The bomber jacket's reversible. It's got leopard on the inside. Leopard cheetah print. Oh my god. Okay, I'm so fucking hard. So there's a this black bomber jacket has leopard cheetah print on the inside. What is that? Is that suede? Is that hairy suede? What, with badges too? Oh my god, this bomber jacket needs to be purchased. This bomber jacket needs to be purchased. Oh my god. There's also matching shorts. It comes in green. The black one's definitely the one to go, with the cheetah print on the inside. There's also a patchwork. Wow. There's a patchwork zip up hoodie. Or the patchwork not zip up hoodie. There's a patchwork rain jacket, I'm assuming. It kind of reminds me of that legendary patchwork jacket that Playboy Carti wore. That from that one collection. Oh yeah, I remember I had actually. Look, no, take it back. I had a short sleeve shirt by Good Enough that was of the same ilk. Like it's like plaid patchwork that had Good Enough screen print at the bottom, or maybe at the back. I'm not assuming. I think it might be at the top of the back, actually in white print. Yes, I'm remembering. I had the exact same thing, and I also had a hideout Coach jacket. That was the same sort of thing with a pinstripe as well. That is so cool. It also comes in black, that same hat. There's a hat as well, a patchwork fucking bucket hat that's definitely going to be copped, especially for the fucking festival season coming up. Oh, that's a really nice idea actually. There's a cable knit jumper that's also made like a hoodie style. That's kind of cool too. It comes in yellow and also an ivory white. That's also kind of nice. There's a leopard print shirt matching the shorts. The patchwork short sleeve shirt is so fucking good. It also comes in white. There's a corduroy combat cargo pant type things, or painter pants. They're quite nice as well. Long sleeve says fuck on the front. The Supreme Good Enough gradient on the back. The GDEH college font thing is fucking cool too, with Supreme on the back. Supreme device t-shirt. Oh, so many good tees. Good Enough t-shirt. Oh, the Good Enough logo on the front, and the End Racism tick at the back is hilarious, by the way. Big up Tremaine Emery. Tremaine was always right. Supreme Edition 4 End Racism. Really cool t-shirt there too. I like that. Again, another shot of the leopard print. What is that? Is that suede? Is that fur? Oh, that needs to be copped, man. That bomber jacket that reverses, black and then leopard on the inside. Cheetah, come on, bro. Too hard. There's also Air Force Ones. God damn it, bro. White Air Force Ones with the cheetah print on the swoosh. Kind of reminds you of back in the day, like when you'd go to like custom shops, big up Meteor Sports and shit. People would literally buy like Gucci bags, cut the material, and then kind of cut it out into a swoosh and shit and put it on the side. So that's pretty cool as well. It also has Supreme Good Enough laces. There's a Supreme tag on there as well. That's pretty cool. You got all the tags. You got the Good Enough tag here. You got the Supreme box logo underneath the Supreme thing here. You got so many logos on the fucking thing. Logos on the laces, logos on the tongue, logos on the heel. Fucking love it. Logos everywhere. But that bomb, this is a standout piece. This black bomber jacket with his S on the front. It also comes with badges, I think, as well, right? I think so. 25 on one of the sleeves, and then it's leopard on the inside. Oh, take my money. My dick is so hard right now. My dick is so hard right now. Reversible MA1 bomber jacket. Wow, 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 wow. Take my money. It comes in green too. You probably have to get both, you know. I'm not gonna lie. You might have to get. It's one of them mad purchases where you might have to get both, but the black one's definitely the winner. Oh, so hard. Then there's what? The patchwork hooded jacket. That's really hard too, by the way. The whole suit is fucking disgustingly hard. It has a reversible, has a detachable hood. I think it's actually, it actually look better without the hood. I'm not gonna lie. I think it actually looks better without the hood, you know. I think I'd wear that without the hood. That for festival season is a fucking win. That for festival season is a fucking win. Oof. Oh, and look, there's a zip on the side that zips all the way up to the top that exposes this orange mesh on the side for ventilation. Fucking hell, and a little nice little red Supreme tab here. Oh, pure sex, pure and utter sex. These so good, and the black pants have a blue mesh. I need it. I need it. I need it all. I need it fucking all. Honestly, I need it all. I know exactly where my fucking paycheck is going to. Jesus Christ. And then here's the pants, corduroy military pants. I really like I actually like the color. I like this kind of gray slate color. It's a bit weird. It's a bit, you know, I wouldn't necessarily buy trousers in this kind of color, but I actually like them. I'm not gonna lie. I like this color really, really, and I actually like the label too. The label is actually really cool too. The label on the inside is actually pretty cool. But yeah, so many good things. Comes in black. The pants, the short sleeve shirt, the patchwork shirt is fucking winner too. Also comes in black and white. There's a what you call it? There's a crushed riot. That's a leopard print or cheetah shirt too. That's actually really nice. Looks a bit like a bowling shirt. There's also crushed rayon cargo shorts as well that come in the same material with the print. There's a nice classic box. There's a nice hoodie as well. That's completely plain on the front. Except for look at that, the good enough label logo there on the sleeve there, wrist and there. Nothing on the front completely, and on the back you got the Supreme Good Enough. I like that. I really fucking like that. Oh, it comes in pink, blue, pink and navy. The fucking thermal tees as well. The Wrangler sleeves are really fucking nice. The GDEH t-shirts too are really nice. This college, honestly, there's so many good things here, man. The whole collection is so fucking good. Device t-shirt, not too shabby, not my favorite design, but yeah, the classic logo, the End Racism T classic logo is definitely going to stand out. It comes in Supreme Edition 4, End Racism 2 and 2025, love enough, peace enough, good enough. Yep, banging, banger t-shirt, black and white, or maybe a black and a color, or maybe a black and white, yeah, End Racism. Love that. There's also that same print available in a Camp Cat in black and white. You got the cheetah and you got the all black as well. Fucking brilliant. I just wish I could fit my head in Camp Cats, honestly. I wish I could fit my fucking giant fucking dome in Camp Cats, but they just don't fit, unfortunately. There's also a nice 5 panel hat, yeah, with the classic logo on the front. For the future on the side, Supreme enough. Oh, patchwork crusher, bucket hat. So fucking good too. It also has a secret stash pocket, I think, on the side too there. And ventilation. Oh. And place where you can hang your lures and shit. If you're a fishing person. And there's also, here's the Air Force One. Nice shape too, isn't it? Oh, look at that. It's got the double embossed. Got the Good Enough logo embossed on the left side pair. Box logo on the right pair. Cheetah print swoosh. And then there's a clear sole. Oh, look at that, bro. Usually it's a clear sole, and they put the clear sole only on the inside footstep. That's actually been a long time since I've seen that. I ain't seen that in a while. Usually Air Force One clear soles is a complete outsole, but they've only done that inside foot palm bit. Oh, so fucking good. Such a good execution. Supreme enough, honestly. So fucking good. Another sly winner. But yeah, June 5th, coming out very soon. Check it out. Big up Blood Clot Supreme. Big up Blood Clot Supreme and Good Enough. I fucking love it. I fucking love it. Anyways, my friends, that has been the Agostinho Zinga Show, episode number 909. Thank Thanks so much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to have your company as per usual. If it's your first time, check out the show via the YouTube. Make sure you smash the like button, hit subscribe, all that good shit. If you listen to the show via the podcast apps on, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Spotify, wherever you listen to it, if you're able to leave a 5-star review or any type of review, please leave one for me so sponsors and potential advertisers can see that I don't chat shit and I've got an entertaining show. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can also. Links in the description. Subscribe to my fucking SoundCloud. Mixes coming out very soon. Patreon as well. New Patreon episodes dropping this week. All that good shit. Social media links in the description. Contact buttons in the description. All that good shit's in the description. Check it out if you're that way inclined. For those of you listening, I'm going to play you my song of the day. Usually I don't play them. I usually only play them on the audio side of things, but I'm going to do you a solid because it's the first podcast of the month that I've done. So let's fucking go. My tune of the day today is this absolute summer banger, summer smash, featuring Justine and KAYTRANADA, Ooh La La. An absolute banger. When I heard the snippet, I knew it was going to be a banger, and now I've heard the whole tune. It's a fucking fire flames. So big up Justine, big up KAYTRANADA. My song of the day is Ooh La La. Thank you for tuning in to the Axiom English episode 909. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. But for now, take care. Peace.
Let's take one more, then I'm done. We say that every time, then do another. Oh, we just can't let go of each other. If you bring that ooh, la 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 la. If you bring that ooh, ah la 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 la. If you bring that ooh, ah la 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 la. If you bring that ooh, ah la 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 la. If you bring that ooh, ah la 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 la. La la la, don't think I'm in love, but I can't let you go tonight. It might be the drugs. We say goodbye and kiss both cheeks and end it with a hug, but then we drag each other right back to where we was. Step one, we kiss, and then we dance, and then we rinse, and repeat all over again. Then I'm done. We say that every time, then do another. Oh, we just can't let go of each other. If you bring that ooh, la 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 la. If you bring that ooh, ah la 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 la. If you bring that ooh, ah la 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 la. If you bring that ooh, ah la 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 la. If you bring that ooh, ah la 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 la. I'm not here to read your mind. Let's take our time, lay your body on my body. We can just unwind. Loving us tastes so much better when it's mine. Say I don't do nothing for you. Boy, stop lying. Step one, we kiss, and then we dance, and then we rinse, and repeat all over again. One more, then I'm done. We say that every time, then do another. Oh, we just can't let go of each other. If you bring that ooh, ah la 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 la. If you bring that ooh, ah la 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 la. If you bring that ooh, ah la 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 la. If you bring that ooh, ah la 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 la. If you bring that ooh, ah la 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 la. We both got perfect taste. I got a perfect waist, and if I twist my hips, then you're gonna chase. I don't wanna run, cause I don't need no space. Give me ooh la la, I don't wanna wait. Tell 'em charge that car, I'ma beat the case. Tell 'em